Welcome everyone to my summer decorating marathon. This is some of all of my decorating ideas put into one marathon video, and it's from last year. But while I'm getting ready this year, enjoy all of this put together just for you. Welcome back, sweet friends, and if you happen to be new here, my name is Rebecca. That's Larry out there working in the landscape, and guys, it is hot. I have been working up on the porch, and we've had all of that rain, and things have just sort of got away from us. I need to do my windows again, but I'm going to start out with a little bit of a clean slate on my front porch. I've taken Dawn Power Wash and sprayed my rockers and my bench, and they look so pretty and white right now. And we already had a few flyers that we had picked up from Lowe's and put on the porch. I do need to go out in a little bit and clean up my windows on the outside and also put my pillows on the rocker. Got our 4th of July banners up. Those will stay up for about 2 weeks. And we usually do some front porch sitting on the 4th of July, watching fireworks all the way around us, sometimes in our neighborhood and just sometimes at a faraway distant where somebody is putting them, lighting them for the night. This is my lily that my sister-in-law gave me, and I have enjoyed these for a couple of years. And they're just beautiful and they're blooming. And I picked up those little orange flowers this year from Lowe's. I really like those in that flower pot. And I haven't put my flag out just yet. Here's my rug. I need to clean it up just a little bit. And I got a couple of flower pots. I think those are coleus. And I meant to take that wreath off the door. I want to put something different. I don't have a 4th of July wreath this year, but these are just gorgeous. I had already had those flower pots, and I just bought them and put them in there. My mandavillas are doing very well. They're blooming, they're pretty, and my rocking chairs are all clean and ready to be enjoyed for the 4th of July evening. I did bring out my little red wagon for the 4th of July. I think I'm going to put a flower pot in there with some flags. And all my flag stuff will come down in a couple of weeks. I usually just leave it up for the month of July. Now our American flag on the front of the house stays. My fern is doing good. And I just feel really good about getting my porch cleaned up from all the cobwebs and so much rain. We just had so much rain. I got a few cobwebs I got to knock down over the door and come out later and do a little decorating. Oh, and I almost forgot. Next week, I'm going to be doing my deck, and I have a surprise for you guys. Okay, I'm standing here studying. Am I going to leave that bicycle up? I had it up for the spring decor. I think it can run through the summer, so I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that. I have another little bicycle that I'm going to put over there on the table on the front porch with some flags in it. And probably by the time you guys see this, the 4th of July is going to be over with. But I will use these decorations all the way through July. Then I'll start cleaning it up, getting ready for the fall. But I'm going to enjoy the summer while it's here. These little block firecrackers, I made those years ago, and I put them out on my porch because they're solid wood, they're painted, and they withhold any weather that comes at them. I'm bringing out a couple of red check pillows, and I'm getting some of the landscape stones to go in my pillow so that the wind doesn't blow it off. Large firecrackers sitting over there on the porch, the 3-level firecrackers. Larry and I made that years ago when we lived at the other house. We put them out every July, and we enjoy them also. Believe it or not, I'm finally getting my porch decorated for the 4th of July, on the 4th of July. We looked at, we might have an evening out here watching some local fireworks. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but anyway, it's all done up, and I love it when I get my porch done up. I do it for spring, and then I do it for the summer, and then I'll do it for the fall, and then the winter we just do some decorating. It's not a whole lot of cleaning unless it's a really nice day outside. You have to let me know in the comments, do you take it down the weekend after the 4th, or do you leave it up for the whole month? Okay, this is my porch for this summer. Enjoy the rest of the video to some music. Thanks for being here. Welcome back, sweet friends. It's been a while. I have a few items that I've thrifted that I'm going to share with you this summer, and I'm excited about those. And anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Now, for my hook back here, along with the basket tray, I have this little ceramic pot with a little jute rope. And I have put some summer flowers, some blueberries, and some daisies in that. Not too many florals, not like I normally do. I'm trying to tone it down a little bit, so let me put those back there. The next item that I have is my aqua jars. I love these. They came out years ago, but I love still bringing them out for spring or summer. And I have several of these, and I'm going to use them for the summer. This was some of the dark greenery that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I just love the color of that. And I'm going to place this vase down in my floor lantern. This next item is a quilt that I thrifted at a yard sale for $1. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's been hand stitched, some machine on the quilt top, but hand stitched overall. It smelled. I dug it out of a tote. I don't know whether it had a, maybe an animal pet blanket, or it just got, I come home, I washed it twice, air dried it. It smells nice, but for $1. And this is the log cabin, one type of the log cabin. And this is in a blue. And I'll give you a close-up in just a moment. So this is going on my bench. My next item for this area is just a pillow cover. I have a pillow insert, and I don't like to store so many pillows, so I use pillow covers. This is just in a blue ticking, a summer blue, and this is going on my bench. My next item is a little, what I call a butt basket. I thrifted at a yard sale for $0.25. I put in some little white daisies. And I just love the style of this basket. And I'm going to place this on my bench along with my pillow and my quilt. Okay guys, I've got one more item. I picked this up from Vendor Village. It's a small white natural stool, and I paid $9.99. Put this over here by the bench, and I would like to find a live plant to go on it. For now, I'm going to put this plant on there until I get my other one done. Okay guys, as simple as it may be, here is my bench area. I have my lantern with some dark green and my aqua vase. I have my blue quilt, ticking pillow, and my thrifted basket. Over here, the little $10 plant stand with the plant on it, and I'm gonna get a different one because that one's going in my kitchen for summer. Not much has changed up there. I am getting a little tired of the arches, and I'm really ready for a change. And then the little blue plates, along with the berries and the daisies, summertime. And my plant, plenty of light there for a plant coming through the door there. And then this is my thrifted quilt that I just fell in love with. Okay, next let's move over to my console behind my sofa. Over here, guys, is my console table. When you come in the door, it's one of the first things you see. It sits behind my sofa because my sofa sits out in the open area, and I've got an open concept with my entry, living room, dining room, and even my kitchen is open. But this is just going to be very, very simple today. Pillow covers in like a muted green check, and I think that's just summer looking, light, airy, and those are going to go in the basket. And nothing's going in the other basket. Sometimes I use that for storage for items that I might be working on, and I drop in there and then I pick them back up. And then I just need to decorate the top here. As simple as it is, guys, that is it. A crock with some of the cosmos. I love those flowers. I could put them in every vase and just call it a day. I just love those. I'll give you a close-up of them in a minute. I got them from Hobby Lobby, but I just love them, and just simple farmhouse style summer decorating. So let's move on in my living room. Okay, welcome to my living room. I'm gonna leave that wall art up there. I got that from Hobby Lobby. I love how it looks. I think it's gonna take me all the way through the fall, and I just love that print, and I just love the colors on it. It just is my colors in my living room. I did want to change out my drapes, but I haven't done that. Let's go ahead, and I'm gonna decorate my mantle. In this, I have this vase that I got from Hobby Lobby, and those are some stems, 4 stems, that I also got from Hobby Lobby. The only thing, let me put this up here. The only problem with that, guys, is I told my husband that my vase on the mantle looks like it has pigtails. Now, he's actually thought I was talking about a pig's tail. No, a hairdo called pigtails. So you guys let me know, pigtails or no pigtails. I think it looks a little funny. It looks like it has pigtails. Next item I have is 2 books. I got these at Hobby Lobby. Love the colors. It goes with my wall art. And I thrifted this little brass candle holder. I love it. This is a real candle. I burned the tip just to make it look authentic. And I'm going to place these up by the vase. Next item going up on my mantle is just this little grapevine type of wreath. Actually, it looks like twigs, but I want something to just stay as neutral and natural as I can for the summertime. So I'm going to put this up on the right-hand side of my mantle. My next 2 items are some vessels that I got from Hobby Lobby years ago. I still love them. They will remain in my home probably the rest of my life. I just love them. I love the style of them. I love the color of them. And they're going up on my mantle. The next 2 items that I'm decorating with is a brass candle holder that I thrifted. Very heavy. I love it. It's got a little patina on it, just a little. And this is a battery operated candle that I love sitting over there on my skinny bench. So I'm going to add this quilt along with this light. As you can see, I've taken the 2 striped chairs out. My husband is wanting this recliner back in the living room, so I agreed to it. One is in the bedroom, one is going in the sewing room, and this has come out, so I'm setting up a little place for him to be comfortable. He has done something to his shoulder and his arm. He has a hard time sitting on the sofa, but he's very comfortable in this chair, so we have brought this chair back out for him. Now over here, I left this table. I'll show you a close-up of it in a minute. I put this lamp back on here so that if my husband's doing any reading or needs some light, he can easily reach that light. But I do have a little throw lap blanket. He doesn't like a full blanket over him, just generally over his legs sometimes. So I'm going to put this little quilt. Now I didn't make this one, I thrifted it. And I thrifted it for $10. I'll show you a full length of it. Just a little lap quilt. And I like the blues in it for summer. So I am going to fold this and put this on this chair just for him. And I'll show you a close-up of everything as soon as I get it all decorated. Oh, and by the way, his grandfather made this table. It's dated with his name on it underneath the drawer, and it's dated 1942. And we have enjoyed having this in our home for so many years. This next item is a basket that I got at a yard sale. I went back to the yard sale this year and found the same lady. So she told me a little more about the basket and who actually made it. And they made them, let's see, I think they made them and sold them in Bardstown. And anyway, it was a handmade basket. And I'll put her name, if I can find it, I'll put her name up on the screen. And I just put a couple of lumbar pillows with floral covers on them for the summertime. And I'm going to set this by my husband's chair. If he needs a pillow, there's one ready for him to grab. One other thing I have for this area, something to go on the little table that his grandfather made, is this vase that I thrifted. Now, if some of you have been on the Magnolia website, Joanna Gaines is doing some of these etched brass vases on her site at $24. I think it's $24 for the small one and maybe $28 for the large one. I found this at a yard sale for $1. I cleaned it up just a little. I sort of like the patina on it, but it really had some bad spots. So as it patinas, that'll be fine, but cleaned it up just a little. I have a couple of little summer daisies, and I'm going to place this over on that table. So that definitely is a Joanna Gaines inspired item that I thrifted, and I'm happy to find that. To add to the summer ambiance, I have a blue and white blanket for my sofa. Sometimes I do have it a little cool and like to throw something over my legs here on the sofa. So I'm going to add that. And I also have these blue ticking covers for my down feather pillows. And I would love to get some more, but for right now, that's all that I have. I have those linked in my Amazon storefront, and if I mention anything like that, you can go find it in the description link and look on there, and some of the items that I use are in there. So anyway, this is going on my sofa for the summertime. Now I want to decorate the bottom of my fireplace. And for summer, I do have the birchwood logs back in there. We clean it up, we put the logs in. But I do have a couple of risers sitting there, and I want some of my live plants for summer. And I love enjoying sitting over here on the sofa looking at my plants as they grow, and I'm going to place the plants in there. Now moving over to my TV stand, I went ahead and decorated so the video won't be so long for you guys, but not a whole lot has changed. The vases that I had up on my mantle, I moved over there. I have wires that really need to be covered, and I'm always trying to hide them, but I did place a tray over there with some other little vases, a little bit of greenery, the clock that I thrifted from a yard sale, and I just love that color of clock. And then just a couple of things down on the shelf, but I'll give you a close-up of everything that I've talked about today. Hi, sweet friends. Welcome back. And if you happen to be new here, my name's Rebecca. Welcome. Before you leave today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos. I have lots of decorating and thinking about doing a Sew With Me Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to that. So we're starting here in the dining room on the hutch with a clean slate. Now I went ahead, I thrifted that antique sign and I put that up there because just about everything I'm putting on my hutch today is some antiques. I brought out my Roseville bowls, all of my Roseville pottery, and it is Roseville, Ohio, and I have been collecting several pieces throughout the years, and I do like to bring them out occasionally. The first item I'm bringing out here is my onion lantern. That's what I call it. It is a vintage lamp, and I have put a candle, battery operated candle in it, and I want to set it up here at the top because I just love seeing these candles come on of the evening, or sometimes when I get up of the morning and they're on, it just puts off such a very light glow to the room, and I just love that. This next item is a basket that I thrifted. It's got some porcelain handles on it, and I'm paid $1 at a yard sale for it. And I love the blue and white porcelain handles on it. I'm not going to put anything on it. I just want to see the basket up there. And it is a vintage basket, so it's going with the ambiance here on my hutch today. Now I'm going to add this cake plate. It's wooden. It's not old. I got it at, I believe, Hobby Lobby, but it looks vintage. But I'm going to add just a couple of things here. I've got a blue and white check summer style napkin that I want to lay there on the cake plate. And on top of that, I want to add a vintage strawberry little basket. And the strawberries were some that I made, I believe, last year, the year before. And I hand stitched those. And I'm going to bring those out and put them on my hutch for this summer. I've got some ironstone plates, and you're going to see me try to fit them in here or there. Some fit, some don't, but I wind up using them on my hutch. The next item that I'm bringing out is just a cutting board. This cutting board is not old. It came from Hobby Lobby. I would love to find some old cutting boards from somewhere, but this is what I have on hand, and this is what I'm going to use. So where I have so much white with the ironstone platters, I wanted to bring a little bit of color in with the cake plate and with the cutting board. These next two items that I have are vintage. They are some old pie plates, and they have the star design on them. And I'm just going to stack them and put them on the bottom shelf. They won't fit on that middle shelf. So I'm just going to put them back in there and add to the vintage hutch for today. Now, it wouldn't be a vintage vignette without an old scale. And I have several scales. Most of them are up above my cabinets in the kitchen, but I had this one down, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add all of my Roseville pottery to the shelf. And then I'll add a couple of little items to the hutch, and then we'll move on over to the dining room table. Okay, here is my hutch, and I am loving the way that it come out. I have a strawberry salt and pepper shaker. I only found one. I'm still looking for the other one. I hope to find it, but for now I went ahead and just put the one little salt shaker on there. But I'm loving how my hutch has turned out for the summer. I'm really going to enjoy it, and I know Mr. Fix-It will too. So let's go ahead and we're going to move over to my dining room table. And starting out with the clean slate, other than my farmhouse style salt and pepper shaker, this table setting is going to be very simple for summer. So for my centerpiece, I have a basket or wicker woven tray that I had got in Tennessee down at the Old Time Pottery, and I love using this in my home, and it's something that I'm going to keep and use somewhere in my home at all times. I have some napkins that I had made. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I have 4 napkins, and I have sort of stacked them to where they're coming over the edge of the tray. Now, the next 2 items that you see are the plates, and you've seen me put them on the hutch, but I had forgot that they didn't belong there. I love them there. I wish I had found 4 of them, but I only found 2 at a yard sale, and she wanted $1 for both of them. But I'm going to love them here, and we're going to use those plates for desserts. And then my little cow creamer. It's like a ironstone ceramic creamer, and I'm going to put that on the plates. I have a little ironstone crock with some of my paper whites in it, and I'm going to put those on my centerpiece for my table. Just something very, very simple. And then I have an ironstone creamer with some old silverware, and I'm going to add that to the mix here on the table. And to top off and finish the table is just some placemats. I found them down at Vendor Village, and they wanted $3.99 for the pair of them, and they are reversible, and I'm just going to love them for the summer table. Here is how it all turned out for summer. Today I'm working on my buffet area over here, and I'm starting out with a clean slate except for the top. Now I went ahead and decorated that because nobody wants to see me climbing up and down on a ladder, So I went ahead and got that portion done, and I'll show that to you in just a moment. But for everything else, other than the baskets, it does have a little towel hanging from it in a green and white check. My staple pieces that stay up here, and my blanket ladder. And I'll show you what I'm going to put on that. But I hope that you guys are doing well and surviving in this heat. So it's been pretty hot here. Our fan went out on our air conditioning unit outside. Fortunately, the house stayed pretty cool. That was the night before last, and we woke up and we called our guy to come out and look, and he got here at about 11:30. We had put the small window, we have a backup small window air conditioner that we keep in a box in our garage just for things that happen like this. So we are able to stay cool and stay safe. But you guys have to let me know what the highest temperature is that it got in your area. I think we reached 95, but with the humidity in our area, it felt like 110. And let's start doing some decorating for my buffet area. It's pretty simple, guys, for summer. We are on the go, we are doing yard sales, we are working the booth. We have a wedding to attend. We just have a lot going on, and it's just very minimal, and it's sort of like a swipe and wipe and dust and go, and that's exactly what we do in the summertime. So we try to stay busy. Anyway, let's go ahead and let me get started on this. I'll show you what I did at the top, and then we'll move down to the bottom. Okay guys, up there on the top shelf is just my rooster. He used to be like a bronze color. I spray painted him white, and I really like that. And I hung that wreath up there because I like the green color and the pale yellow for summer in this area. I wanted to bring out my aqua jars for the summer, so I thought that green would go really good with those aqua jars, and then the white rooster in the middle, along with a vase that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it also has some of those same green leaves with pale yellow and white flowers in it. So it's just that simple. I just wanted something light, bright, and airy for summer. Let's move on down to the hooks. Now, I had already told you guys that I put a green and white check towel over there on the baskets. Those are my vintage picnic baskets, and I like having them out for the summer, and especially during the fall as well. And I brought out the green and the white buffalo check towels, and I really love this color. It's, I don't know, it's like an olive green, but I thought that it would blend with the items on the top. I just added another little cutting board there on one of the pegs, and I just love these round cutting boards, and I got both of those from Hobby Lobby. The basket, the bread basket hanging on the right, was thrifted from a yard sale for 50 cents a long time ago, and the old spoon was from my neighbors up the road. She had a garage sale, and I just loved how used that old spoon looks, and I thought it would go great in my decor, and she only wanted $1, so I bought it for $1. The next items that I placed on my buffet was a USA McCoy vintage bowl that I thrifted. I want to say I got that at a yard sale for little or nothing, guys. I can't quite remember, but I love the color of it. And I found an old vintage masher, and I placed that in there, and also a steering spoon. So I placed that on my buffet for the summer. My next item is an ironstone plate that I thrifted, I believe, from a yard sale for maybe $1, maybe 50 cents. I'm sure it wasn't over $1. That stand, it's a metal stand that it's sitting on, also found that at a yard sale. Okay guys, I placed a cutting board that I got from Hobby Lobby, I don't know, a year or two ago. And the little basket with the eggs, I thrifted that basket for 50 cents at a yard sale. And a lot of my items are thrifted this year. I've had a lot of fun finding things for my home, and I'm using them in my decorations. And then when I'm done, I'll maybe take them to the booth. Maybe I'll store them away, I'm not sure. But I put that cutting board there along with the basket of eggs. And you can tell it's a farmhouse theme. I've got the rooster, I've got the buffalo check, and I've got the little farm fresh eggs and the mixing bowl all on my buffet. So let's move on to the next items. My old vintage crock with a lot of wood utensils in it, that a lot of them I had thrifted. Some of them I had found at Hobby Lobby, but I love them all. I love them on display. They will probably always be displayed in my house. So let's move on to the next item. The next item is over there on my blanket ladder, and I had thrifted that white blanket quilt, actually a quilt. And I was going to put it on my bed, but it's a little too heavy for the summer. So I went ahead and brought it out here, and I thought it would look great as a backdrop with the quilt that I also thrifted at a yard sale. One of my mistakes was not asking the lady her mother's name that did the quilt. If I find her and go back to her yard sale, maybe this year or next year, I'll get that information from her, and I will put that name and that around that date that the lady made the quilt. I would really like to do that. But I do love the colors of it. She must have got a lot of quilts from her mother. But anyway, I said yes to $10 for that, and I have been loving it ever since. As simple as it is, guys, that is my buffet for the summertime. I hope in some way I have inspired you to decorate your own home and make it as comfortable as you can with the things that you love. Until my next video, I hope that you all have a safe and wonderful summer, and I'll see you next week. God bless. Welcome everyone, welcome back to my home and welcome back to my kitchen. After taking care of that plant, I wanted to go through my kitchen and remove a lot of stuff, clean my countertops, my tiled backsplash. Nothing's changing up at the top, still my old scales and just some old vintage items, and I'm not going to change that out for the summer. I'm just going to leave everything up there. And I'll probably dust it later on, but not for the summer. We stay pretty busy. But over here, I have just added a few things, taken a couple of things away on my shelves, and I'm not even going to fool with them today. Over here in the corner, this is to the right of my stove, my range top. I've got this little riser, and this is what I had over in the other corner, but I wanted to bring it out. And my little lamp that I made the fabric shade for, it needs a new light bulb, so I'm going to change that out because I leave it on day and night. And I like getting up early other mornings to come in and fix my coffee, and this little lamp is just all lit up. I've got a couple of small lamps in my kitchen, but I put a couple of cutting boards back behind this riser to hide the cords, or the outlet actually. And I did thrift these two items. It is a Ray Dunn sugar bowl and creamer, and I got them for $1 a piece at a yard sale, and I thought I would like to have those. I'll take the other set down to the booth to sell, but I'm going to keep this set in my kitchen and enjoy it for a little while. In the next area closest to the stove, I have another riser, and I'm just going to add my salt and pepper containers, and this is what I usually have there for cooking. And then I just have a little red timer that I'm going to add there. Over in the other corner is a couple of cutting boards, and I'm just going to stack these over the outlet. I don't have anything that I'm plugging in there. I used to have my KitchenAid sitting over here, but I took it out for a little while. I don't use it a whole lot, so I decided just to store it away. I may bring it back out for the holidays. And then these two canisters that I got at home, and I did find a seal for it, and I think I've got those linked into my Amazon in my kitchen on my Amazon storefront. But for the big one, I had to trim it down so it would fit. I just cut the inside of it out, and it works pretty well. Over here in my sink area, I'm putting this cutting board there because I use that when I cook with my crock pot so that heat doesn't ruin my countertop. It is a quartz countertop, so I do have to watch setting anything hot on it. So I will use that. That is my new drying mat that I got with the roosters and chickens on it. And then over here, I thrifted this jar. I'm thinking about putting something in that jar, but I just don't know what I want to put yet. I was thinking about putting some chocolate chip morsels in there and just having that ready for some baking. And then the other little oil jar I thrifted at a yard sale for 50 cents. I cleaned it up, and I like how it looks in my kitchen. And then my cow butter dish I got at a yard sale, I think for $1. It's from Cracker Barrel. Next to my stove, I added the spoon rest that my husband made. He painted a barn on it. Here I'm adding a towel that I picked up from Hobby Lobby a while back. I knew I was going to be doing blue. And then I have another Rise and Shine blue check towel that I'm putting over here on my hooks. And here on my countertop is this tray that I got from Tennessee last year vacation. And that vase is from Hobby Lobby. And I went out and got some flowers from my landscape. These are the Black-Eyed Susans. And I'm going to put some water in here and just arrange these summer flowers in my vase for a few days, and I'm going to enjoy them. Okay, everyone, that is my summer kitchen, and I'm also going to share with you my laundry room and where I placed my old vintage antique washboard in my laundry room. And you'll get a peek of my mud room. Nothing much has changed in there, just changed out the pillow. So enjoy the rest of the video to some music. Hello, and welcome back to my home. And if you happen to be new here, my name's Rebecca. I don't know if you noticed it, only those of you who follow me over on Facebook know anything about this. But I'm so excited, and I've been waiting until I decorate my deck. Here it is. I now own and have a screened-in back porch, and guys, I love it. So let me tell you a little bit of how this came about. Last year, we had someone come and look at our porch, and we actually wanted a roof over it, and we wanted it extended all the way out, and was going to screen it in and put a new area out there for just the grill. But they never called us back. They came and looked, they took measurements, and I guess they didn't want the job. So this year, Larry was determined to build us a screened-in porch, and after much drawing on a notepad and measuring and figuring out what he needed, he has built our screened-in porch, and guys, I can't say it enough, I'm loving it. Now let me share this with you. I know our back needs some landscaping, but my husband has run a garden hose over the back of the house, and we're eventually going to get this all done up, but it's not going to happen this year. And he has put me a garden hose hanger up there so that I can reach it and water my plants from the deck without going up and down the steps. Isn't that a wonderful idea? And isn't that a wonderful husband? Thank you, honey. We did, instead of getting the door and putting it all together, we did order a door from Lowe's. But I wanted the old original type of hook on the door. You know, I love to hear that country storm door, screen door, slime behind me. And, you know, I just love it. I love the sound of it. Originally, a white knob came with it, but we found this at a yard sale, and we wanted to go with something a little bit older with some age to it and make it look authentically country. So I haven't done a whole lot to my deck. I've moved my plants out here from my windowsill, and look at that mess. I picked all the dead ones off my plants, and they're just laying there. I need to sweep them up, but I haven't done that yet. And I have my little vintage ladder, and I've got flower pots sitting there, and they're just blooming beautifully. And there's all my seeds there. Those will go in the wintertime, but for now, if I want to continue to plant some more plants, I have it right there. And we are just enjoying the screen in without all of the bugs, and it gives us a little bit more shade in here. My tobacco basket and my old rake still up there, and if you remember back in the spring, I put that wreath up there after cleaning it up. The fire pit, we don't use it in the summer, but we're fixing to in the fall. And I added a couple of more seats in case we have some company over. And the little pine tree that lights up every evening that I'll look through my back door, because I only keep a valance up there. We have so much privacy out here. I did bring the little tree out here. I didn't want birds nesting, so I wanted to wait and bring it out after the porch was screened in. Brought a little rug out there, you know, in case it's raining out there. Haven't got my fly swat hung up yet, but I'll find a place for it. But we are really enjoying the screened-in porch, or I am, and I just love coming out here, taking care of my plants, and sitting and reading a book, having a glass of tea, and just really, I enjoyed my porch at my last house. It was smaller than this one, and I'm going to enjoy this one too. But I wanted to share it with you guys because I was so excited. I was afraid I was going to give it away. But if you guys want to see how Larry put this together, he has a video over there on Workshop Larry, and I'm going to link it below. go over there and let him know how great of a job he did and how happy he made his wife. So I appreciate you going over and giving his video a thumbs up. He worked hard at this, and I'm just so proud of him. And I just can't thank him enough that this is just another living area for us, and I love it. Hello, welcome back to my home. If you happen to be new, I'm Rebecca. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button before you leave today. It's summer here in Kentucky, and I'm sure enjoying my screened-in porch area. I recently moved my plants out here on the deck when they became too big for my kitchen windowsill. I really do like caring for them out here. Don't be alarmed, those aren't real snakes. I picked them up from garage sales and I placed them out here so the birds don't mess all over my patio furniture or my deck. But sometimes I forget they're there and I jump and scream like a little girl.